Hi everyone. Before we get into the main video, I'd like to quickly just give a little bit more information as to my coaching and what I offer. Right now, I'm looking for students that have already been cubing for at least 2 years, but that are pretty motivated to improve, whether that's by any means necessary, I guess. My top events are, of course, 3 through 5 and one-handed, but I can really give good structured coaching for any event, and I'm also particularly interested in coaching mindset. So if you are someone that struggles with nerves or is really anxious when it comes to perhaps a main competition, like a big national competition or a big regional competition, or just wanting to get your first podium, these are all things that I can help you with. So firstly, I do an intake session so that I can get a really good idea of, how long you've been cubing, what you average already, what you want to focus on, what your goals are. And this is really important because it's really hard to coach someone properly and just jump into, things without having a good idea. So this intake session is simply a first meeting, and it's only $10. And then afterwards, my sessions are $1 a minute, so it's going to be $30 for a half-hour session. However, there's going to be a lot of communication, and I'm always going to be available. So if you're really interested, you can reach out to me on my Instagram or on my Discord or even my email, and all of these will be available to you here. And I really hope that you consider me, and I hope you enjoy our video.
Oh, hey. My name is Twan, Rubik's Cube coach. And I am looking for the type of cuber that is so dedicated. He has no clean room, no friends, no girlfriend, no parties, no nothing, no future, no life. That sounds familiar to you, doesn't it? Go get a solve analysis at dullemondsclub.com for €40. Get out of here. What are you doing, man? Get out. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We do, bro. No, let's just start talking to
I have some ideas. Like, for one, this isn't like a one-off thing, right? Or did you want to make like a really comprehensive, like 5-hour podcast about like improvement and coaching landscape, like things like this?
No, my idea for this talk was to talk about to learn from each other. Probably is the most important thing. To learn how to be a better coach, just talk to you. Yeah, just share insights. Mostly to learn and to see if we want to do more collaborations in the future for coaching. Because I think it'd be a pretty good idea. I don't know. What's your future situation looking like for like how much time you would be able to give to coaching?
Well, I mean, right now I have like endless time until like middle of August, basically, because like I don't really care about lens or euros, right? Like that's like I'm way beyond my prime, um, and right now right at this moment I don't have uni until the time I said, and when I'm in the U.S., which is going to be from the 21st of this month until middle of August, I do want to work, whether that's coaching or whether that's like going to a housing agency and working at like a warehouse. Like I'm going to be doing something. So what better thing than to go all in on coaching, whether that's just having, like 8 very good weeks of coaching or perhaps building something a little bit bigger, and then I guess with those 8 weeks, depending on how it goes, see if there's potential to keep doing that or keep having this like more low key, like having a 2 or 3 sessions a week thing that I've been doing for years at this point.
Yeah, yeah. So
Um,
you're doing uni again. Where at?
in Maastricht, like still in
Oh, in
Maastricht.
Maastricht again.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's only for half of a semester. Like I was supposed to actually graduate now, but I had some delays. I failed some courses. Um, so the earliest I can finish now is like middle of October. So theoretically, I would also be free from end of October until however long it takes me to get like a real job, right? Like an actual 9 to 5 job with my new degree. But yeah, that's kind of up in the air at the moment, depending on how I do. So yeah, I want to say I have a ton of time, and I do have quite a big incentive on making this be as worthwhile as possible. Um, yeah. What about you? What situation do you find yourself in?
Um, I just got back from Romania. I don't plan on going back because I wanna get some coaching in a physical classroom going. Like if I'm honest with myself, that would be the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I told you, like Kuno was trying to convince me to actually go all in on my cubing career more, but I don't feel too motivated for that. I do feel motivated to keep practicing 3x3 because I'm definitely after the initial dip of learning ZB, because that learning curve thing where you go to the dip. I'm definitely already like
You're already seeing the
I,
returns of your
yeah, yeah.
switch.
I'm setting PBs constantly, and it's going very well. Which I really didn't expect because I had like 3 years of stagnation, just chilling at like 6.2 glow or something. So
Okay.
that's really nice. So I will probably continue doing a bit of 3x3, but I don't. I'm not gonna present myself as such anymore, and um, yeah, I've been trying to combine the two right now, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely gonna either I'm gonna like kind of stop cubing, or I'm gonna be just very consciously putting cubing on the back burner.
Okay.
That's my
And
plan.
go
And in
all
terms
in
of
on coaching then.
yes, yeah, and in terms of what coaching specifically, and will I maybe get like a part time job or something? I might do a part time job. Um,
The same one you had previously, like at the restaurant, or
no, I mean maybe the similar type of job, but
not that one
not that
specifically?
not that one. No, because I mean I'm living in Leersum now, so
Oh, you're
it's
you're
not.
like at your grandparents.
Yes,
Okay.
um, but I'm gonna have a lot of time for coaching for sure, and it's just now that I'm doing a lot of cubing instead. So I do have a lot of time for coaching. Um, it's really just like I know that I can go all in on coaching. It's just like I said in my latest video or one of my latest videos. Like I just find it hard to not have that status anymore. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you've experienced like a little bit of a like you said you're relative to the rest of the world. You're beyond your prime.
Right.
So I guess your ego is already shattered. I guess, but
Yeah, I mean, the weirdest thing for me was that I had already lost my ego too early, I guess. Like, I was really, really confident in like 2019, 2020. But I think because of COVID and like personal like life struggles associated with that, I was like, all right, I'm never gonna like win a comp again, like a major. I'm never gonna get a world record again. Like that was all kind of, I really felt defeated, or that like the best years of like my cubing career were robbed from me, which is still like
someone could make the argument that that's the case. But then 2022 happened, and I like broke the sub 9 barrier in one-handed, and like got first place at Euros. Like it ended up being like really nice actually. And then kind of the opposite happened, where then I was like so confident, but then it was actually too late. Like 2023 didn't really do anything of significance except for tying my one-handed world record. And then, but I didn't like podium at Worlds even, or like in 3x3 at US Nationals. And then ever since then, I'm like very much not enthusiastic about cubing really, like my own personal development. Of course, I still went to like Euros 2024 and I went to Worlds 2025, but with like a kind of like a defeatist kind of like I'm just here because I can be type thing, or I still had sponsors that were willing to send me there type thing. But I think even now, the like majority of the reason I'm going to Euros is because I'm just in the area, right? Like I don't really see myself doing particularly well in any event. I'm not practicing for it. And I even did some one-handed sols, which was like my first time practicing one-handed in like 6 months. Mainly because of hardware. Like I didn't have a good one-handed cube when I was living in Ecuador at the beginning of the year. But I really don't have any expectations. I could probably still realistically even podium in things like 4x4 or one-handed if I do well. But I don't even want to give myself that like hope basically, because I did do that for Worlds last year a little bit, where I was like, I'm washed. I don't have really too high expectations, but I still wanted, to do really well. And then I didn't like make finals in like any of my events basically. So
yeah,
it was pretty rough. So now I'm like, I do think this is kind of prime time to pivot more seriousness towards coaching or content in general, because I don't necessarily want to like I'm like all in like we should make a business together type thing, but really probably what is best is to make like a new audience on a channel where there's like Patreon stuff available. It's like a pure education channel, and then there's also our coaching services attached to that, whether it's like we're collaborating and then you can choose who to pick, or we have like our own kind of centralized thing. Because I think that's kind of the meta, right? Like I watch so many of these YouTubers that are sitting at like 200, 300,000 subscribers, and it really hasn't grown that much. But if you look at the numbers of the loyal fans, the ones that buy like the YouTube subscription, like the YouTube member thing, or that are on Patreon, that does keep growing. And that's actual real money, right? Like that could actually be more than a side hustle. That could be a full-time job. And, I'm not like the best student. I have been continuing my studies, but I'm not like excellent or anything. The job market is cooked with like the types of things that I study. And I am actually a professional at this thing. Like this thing is something that I'm actually qualified to do. And I have been, not consistently, but I have been a coach since like 2018, right? Like it's almost, I mean, it is 8 years ago, right? So all this to say, like this is a good idea on paper, but I do need to kind of put that foot forward. I did a little bit of that, last year with my like coaching, or not my coaching, but like my one-handed series. And I got really good feedback for that. And I even got like someone to like donate on like a comment. So like the potential is there. But I need to start. I need to put these things. So I think a podcast is a really great idea, because although they tend to get viewed less as pieces of media, they do have the highest return on like ads. Like those are the most convincing ads. People are more likely to purchase a service if they hear from it on a podcast. and it's also just that way to build that audience. And I think doing it on your own, it's really easy to get like tunnel vision and alienate yourself from the rest of the community that you're a part of. So in this case, we're cubers, but we're also coaches, and I think you can already recognize that there's a lot of like not constructive rivalry between some coaches, or like there's like there's like factions, right? Like there's like the cubing GG people, and then there's the people that do it on their own, and yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a zero-sum game where like there's like fixed resources and everyone's just fighting for what exists and getting a larger slice of the pie. I do think that as coaching or as cubing grows, there is the potential for the West to kind of not catch up to the East with like the coaching model, but for it to be more similar.
Exactly. Because that's where my head's...
It can be integrative, right? Like I am totally even thinking of like down the line, like assume like let's say we build a business, right? We built like our own GG, and they like try to buy us or something. Like that's not something I would be against even. But yeah, the potential is like so there, especially like in the English language, and why not, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say that, like you mentioned the East, so I mean you mean China, and pretty much that's the only India, India as well.
Even like Vietnam also has like some schools now.
Really? Like physical schools?
Maybe not physical, but definitely online.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Kunal's school, is it physical?
No, it's
online.
Almost strictly online. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the girls that he teaches is actually like living in the Netherlands now. I don't know if you saw that.
I think he mentioned her. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like her parents approached me and was like, "Oh, like we know you, Coach Kunal, and he's actually the teacher." I didn't realize how massive his like reach was. It's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
Something I also think about a lot is like making a key difference between like the people that are like already good and we're just trying to make them the absolute best, like a Luca, for example, and like absolute new people, right?
Yeah,
like
because that's where my head's at. Because I look at China, all of these top Chinese cubers that are at the top right now, they started with coaching, and they started cubing in the way people would start chess, or they would start at some sports club or whatever.
Yeah.
They start there because they want their child, the parents want their child to do something, to have a hobby, to get good at something, and they just pick something, and then like in this case the kids like it. And the difference between the Western coaches and the Chinese coaches is they start at the beginning. So an analogy that I've drawn to people close to me, like to showcase the difference between Western coaches and Chinese coaches, and why the Chinese coaches are, at least up until right now, way more successful, is because they start at the start of someone's cubing journey. Right. People like you and me, when someone approaches us, typically, like in my case, typically they're around, let's say, 11 seconds. That's like the average cuber that approaches me for coaching averages 11 seconds. That's so far down the line. They can have multiple bad habits. The best thing I can really do is I can gauge, okay, how disciplined is this guy? How much time does he have to practice to really change some of the significant mistakes that he still has? And then, like, the analogy I draw is like, when a student comes to me, he's broken. He's got so many bad mistakes. He's got so many broken bones in his body, and I'm trying to be the doctor, trying to fix the broken bones. But it's just, it's better to just.
Always going to be there, right? And like,
the injury is always going to stay there. And like Luca is different because I've been coaching him for so long, and since the very start, that he doesn't have any bad habits. Like, I could quit coaching him and he'd still get very, very good. So I really feel like, to compare, like for example, Maddie's Elite Cubing Initiative. Those kids,
I
they're
don't
finished.
I
They
don't
are finished
see.
products. Like
Yeah.
they're already sub 7, and then Maddie is just like, what's he gonna say? Oh yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's helpful. I'm sure it's helpful whatever he's doing with the kids, especially mindset related. I think it's really really useful. It's definitely not going to be a negative. But the most important part of coaching a student is the very start.
Right. And even then, I would say like the mindset things are like a little bit to be desired, because I really don't think Matty has like good championship mentality. And even like
he's very inconsistent.
His student did not get a single sub 8 solve in finals, which is like he's sub 7. You know, like it's not like he barely made finals or anything. Like this guy's actually fast, and he didn't get a single sub 8.
Yeah, well, it varies very, very much person to person. Doesn't necessarily make it the mistake of the coach. I mean, Luca is just amazing in competition. Like I don't even have to say anything. he just does amazing.
Yeah, but he hasn't been tested yet. Like this is the first.
That's true.
Like like warm
He's never
up,
been in a head-to-head
warm
finals.
up is gonna be a good time trial, and then Euros is gonna be a good test, because Euros is like, you know, that's like a big deal. You know, like it's not like your random Feyenoord comp. Like that's and that's he's never been there before. So
yeah, we need to start doing head-to-head finals again in the Netherlands, because
we need to talk to Mark about this.
Yeah, we need.
But I mean, we have head-to-head bracket in Lent, so at least that's something. And it's actually going to not be like straightforward to get there. At least on the site sheet, it's like 6.4 or something, right? So
yeah, the competition is not as stacked as expected, but
yeah, like
still going to be
people
hard
just
to
have
make.
like really good PRs or something there. Like I think you will need a sub 7 average to make the top 8 at Lent.
Is top 8 is that finals?
Is to make the bracket.
Okay, yeah, that is going to be quite hard.
And I don't know if there's going to be other people like me that are going to like sign up the day of.
Probably not many.
No.
Not many that are as good as you.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the actual topics, like for the podcast.
I was going to say one more thing about like the difference between Western and Eastern coaching, or I guess something related to it. So I thought to myself, I had this thought one day, like even though I enjoy the online coaching, and I really do, like it's not my dream. I don't want to be, like, I guess that's also why I'm not like incredibly motivated to really grow my online business, is because it's not my actual dream. Like it's not what I would truly want. What I would truly want is to be present at the early stages of someone's cubing career, like I said, because I think it's the most relevant, and the best way to do that is probably in person, because like I guess you're not going to meet
so much quality of teaching with it being online. Like when I started in 2018, it was in person, and I'm so grateful to have started that way, because I genuinely think like if I started only online, like, you know, 95% of people do that are coaches, then you develop your style around that, and it's like it just could be so much better if you're actually like shoulder to shoulder, you know, working with someone. Like you can't see finger tricks on a call, even if they have like a point of view set up. Like it's not going to be the same. You're not going to be able to, and then actually going to a comp with them and seeing how they compete. Like you're not going to be able to really coach mindset if you don't see them compete, right? Like it's The thing is though, and I agree that is like the best way to do it. Like have an online place. We need the audience first. Like people need to think that like, or people need to go to like their first comp with their kid and be like, these are the people you go to if you want your kid to be really good, right? So I think that's when, like earlier, I sent you like the video of like that girl that said she wants to be like the first girl to make 3x3 finals. Like
Yeah.
that, like you need like a success story like that. But like we already have you already have Luca, right? So that's a good start. Something that kind of just shows more the idea, right? Because people are obviously going to point out the fact that the kid also is just like a fucking god. Okay, but for actual coaching stuff, right? Like,
yeah, because we had a few topics for this podcast. Um, we didn't have any structure to this, but I guess one of the key words we put down was coaching landscape. So
yeah.
how do you see the coaching landscape right now?
So obviously, it's still like a very new thing that's growing. But you do already kind of see the division between like agency versus individual. So you have like Cubing GG, you had what was it like
Cubing Life
Cubing Life Academy, and then SpeedCube Solution, but that's kind of old now, right? Like you have like actual companies that you go to find coaches, or I guess like Jayden Mcneill was his own thing, but regardless. And then like individual coaches, you know, Chris Mills, Dylan Miller, although I mean he's like also with QBG regardless. Myself, yourself, right? Other coaches that are purely on their own. Nicholas Sanchez also, and there seems to like not be a consensus as to like which is better or not, like that sort of thing.
In what way?
Like GG is still individual, right? Like at the end of the day, you still pick an individual coach to work with through that service. It's not like you sign up for Cubing GG itself and then get someone assigned to you, or
it's a platform.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think like I think so, there's still the issue of like not knowing what you're getting, right? Like there's still a lot of uncertainties with, for one, what cubing coaching even is, because everyone does it differently. And like if you get like a tennis coach, you will get like in 90% of cases you will 100% get better at tennis, because it's like you're actually getting stuff explained to you. There's not that many like mechanics in tennis, right? Like you have like your serve, forehand, backhand, and like footwork. And I'm sure there's like more things, right? And like, you know, competitive environment and stuff like this, but like it really can be dissected into like certain sets of skills, and then you just work on all of those. And cubing does have the same thing, right? Like methods and color neutrality, finger tricks, ways to practice, things like this. But it's so much harder to like measure progress. And like the thing with cubing, again, like you said it earlier with like your ZB, like if you want to improve at something, you have to like sacrifice being worse. Where I feel like for like sports or things like that, you just get better. Like unless it's like a very specific thing, like a tennis serve, or like, you know, like a very like technically difficult thing, you don't really have this like period of being worse as a result of getting coached.
Yeah.
And so it makes it really hard.
I guess you could have,
especially for the parents, right? If they see their kids getting like worse times, then why would they continue like coaching? Or
I guess you could do that, but you would just have to, like, if that 11-second cuber comes to me, I guess I would just have to accept every single habit that he currently has, and then just add on better things to it. So as long as, you know, there is a point where a habit is so bad and so easy to change that it would be worth it. But
right, I think habits are much harder to change in cubing.
Really depends on the habit. Actually, a good example is I changed the CP recognition for my Soon ZB, which
like to help because with your two-sided, or
yeah, and it like I made the switch, but if I get nervous or something, I will sometimes just force a diag swap, which is just awful.
I think even like something really trivial, I'll give an example. D2, like for A prims,
Good example.
So many people,
Yeah.
for one, they know that it's worse to
That's a
use
good one.
ring middle,
Because yeah,
and then they
that's
just do
that's
it
one
anyway.
mistake. That's one mistake Luca is still making. So that was
Yeah,
funny when we got to that point. Um, because he used to not know D2 flicks, and I mean, his hands were still very little, so it made sense. And then he learned it, and I guess I didn't tell him to learn it. He just learned on himself, and he didn't tell me about it. Not a big deal. But at the end of the day, he did, because he does the, like Luke Garrett does it. So he does
ring
yeah,
middle.
ring middle,
Hmm.
or the other way. Yeah, ring then middle. Yeah, and you should do either pinky ring or ring pinky. Yiheng
Right.
does pinky ring,
Yeah,
which
I
I think is
do
also,
ring pinky, whatever.
yeah, same.
Whatever combination, but make sure you use your ring and your pinky, right? Because then you lose so much
Yeah,
stability
you need the middle finger
on the
on the
cube.
layer. You need
Yeah,
to brace it. Yeah,
yeah.
I that's actually funny because I switched from doing middle from doing ring middle to ring pinky
Me too.
because
Me
I
too.
knew it was bad. Oh yeah,
And I
but
was like sub 8, right? Like this was like after Worlds 2017, so I was
yeah,
like working on becoming kill neutral, and I was averaging like low 7. So it's like even something that's like you can very very easily identify a bad habit, explain why something else is objectively better, right? Because there are a ton of things in cubing where it's like marginally better or like just as good, right? But something like this is that's
yeah,
it's like objectively better, but changing a habit when like your fingers are so used to bending or holding the cube in a certain way, it takes so long. Like if someone is like, to
yeah,
continue with like the tennis thing, like if someone is just holding the racket wrong, it is uncomfortable to then change their grip if they've been playing for like years with the same thing. But you just start doing it, and then that's it, right? Like it's gonna be
yeah,
awkward for the next couple of sessions, but the time added compounds, and then you get good at that thing. But
yeah,
with cubing, solves, like just doing solves is it gets so repetitive that like your fingers are just gonna be like you need to. It's so hard to just make your fingers feel like uncomfortable and awkward, which is what you need to do to build these new like neural pathways to switch the habit. And yeah, that's like the biggest struggle I think with like coaching, is that like getting people to like stick to a plan, because it's going to cause them so much discomfort. Like
yeah,
I have so many kids that are averaging like 30 to 40 seconds, so they're still really new, but
mm,
getting them to like solve the cross on the bottom or be color neutral, like so difficult for them to switch, even though I know that if they do it
yeah,
now, it's
same.
like it's going to take 30 minutes, and if they try to do this when they're averaging 15, it's going to take them like
Yeah,
you know weeks and
yeah.
or months even.
But going back to that D2 flick, like especially as a ZB solver, you don't have to do A perms very often.
Right.
The only place it shows up would be cross, and I guess a
Yeah.
D2 pseudo slot or something. So it's really not that big of a problem, and he really did try to change it. So I thought to myself, should I really put my foot down about this, or should I just move on? And I decided to just move on.
I think
So,
after Euros, it's worth having a conversation, but that's all your prerogative.
with Luca.
With Luca, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although I have like coached like little like nitpick things with him, like when we're in person, and he's so like open to feedback. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's another thing too, like really finding people that are. That's why you need people that are like just starting out, because then they don't know any better.
Yeah.
But with people that are like 10 or below, it's like they'll like challenge you a bit, or like be like, oh, it'll be so hard to switch to that, and it's like, yeah, it is hard, like it's actually really hard to improve after a certain point with cubing. And the more open-minded you are with switching something that maybe you've even been doing for like 5 years is gonna
Yeah.
be a big decider in if it's the coaching is gonna be effective or not.
Yeah. Do you do that often? These big style changes? Do you
very
suggest it often?
seldomly. Like especially if someone has been cubing for 5+ years. It has to be something pretty dramatic, right? Like
Yeah,
if there's like a 10-second celebration cross on top, right? Which there are like a few of them that in the world, then it's like, come on, like
yeah,
you didn't need to get my coaching to know that I was going to tell you to solve it on the
yeah.
bottom or
It's
something
also
like that.
just a different skill. Like solving cross on top is a different skill to solving cross on bottom, whereas the recognition that I told you about for soon zbLLs, it's like it's really different because it's subconscious,
Right.
and it's also the thing I'm trying to change is so specific. It's so close to one another because all the recognition stickers are still in my vision, and then instead of recognizing by these three, I have to recognize by these three. So it's just I have to be very conscious about something that is already so deep into my mind. So
Yeah.
it's but I've
Do
made the
you
switch.
have you
Yeah.
attempted ever like trying the thing with like a electronic cube and like using that to recognize like how Schwanya does to like do two-sided
Um.
training?
Yeah. Well, I have all my electronic cubes with me right now. I just need to charge because I used to have one with me when I was in Romania. But then I tried to charge it and it didn't work. So that's a shame. Um, my AUGs are so good that I don't even need a virtual cube. I could just look at the screen, do the case that I see on a normal cube, and then just press enter. So I don't really need a virtual cube. But
Right.
um, yeah, virtual cube is very very important. It's probably also going to be very very relevant for cubing coaching, not only for just uh, more effective training, but also for more effective analysis and maybe even presenting alternative solutions. Like the virtual cube on CS Timer works very very well.
Right.
But yeah, a smart cube could also be very
Smart
useful.
cube is the real term. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure on which, like maybe on the GAN Cube Station app, it's possible to, I don't know.
Like
I
link
don't know
with
if
the
the
CS timer one.
yeah, I don't know if the digital infrastructure is there to really practically use it in say a video call.
Right. I mean, hopefully, yeah, something like this is available soon enough. I feel like it is already being used in like China, right? Like
Yeah, I
electronic,
imagine
like
every single student
smart
has a
cubes.
smart cube there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're also just really accessible, right? Because you can just like walk into like the supermarket and get one. So it's not like
yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah,
such a game changer.
yeah,
Yeah, it'd be really nice if like Rubik's could make one or something where like they're just like you just go to the store and buy one because the barrier of entry to cubing is already like if you already have to like go online to buy something, it's the likelihood of someone getting into that hobby is going to just go down dramatically.
yeah.
All right. Did you also want to talk like give tips to like people that are coaching that like could help them be better coaches? Is that something you were also perhaps like information that could be kind of useful for a longer discussion?
Um, I mean, not really anything specific, but something I have noticed is that experience is actually quite important. You like the more you coach, it's just repetition. I mean, the more you coach, the better you get. Like with cross, I'm a very good teacher for cross at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I like I know how to teach like a beginner cross. I just tell it like it is. Like there's three different types of cross pieces. There's the ones that are already attached to the white center, and then there's oriented edges that are not attached to the white center, and then there's misoriented edges not attached to the white center, and then you move the misoriented edges on top of the oriented ones, and that's the basic way to do it. And then
Yeah,
the more
I always
advanced,
like especially for like advanced cross once you're getting into the territory of like solving like two pieces at once, like that sort of thing. I teach like connected edges, like like the orange and the blue are connected edges because any move you do to the blue is going to affect the orange. Like I teach like that, and
mm-hmm,
that's really good I try to get them to attach like to the opposite color cross. Like I try them to make them do D2 crosses like immediately, so that they can
Mm,
already play around with like having the cross misaligned but still
yeah.
solved like in the right orientation.
I've never had students as slow as yours. As early
Yeah,
into their journey as yours. Yeah. So I'm not too experienced with that, but and then after I teach them the misoriented, like sliding it on top of the oriented ones, I will teach them the concept of crosspiece orders. So just by altering the crosspiece order, you can always find like a very very good cross. That's just the difference between an intermediate solver and a really, really advanced cross
mm-hmm.
solver, is they just consider more options. And so yeah, experience is very important. Also, it's very important. The experience also makes it so that your information, the information you're communicating, is more efficient. So less words is definitely better. The way, if you are teaching something and you can say it very very concisely, it's just much better. It's very clear. You're not having to like retract statements that maybe weren't very very accurate. Um, and also repeating certain like instructions to emphasize its importance is also really, yeah, really important.
I think it's really easy to like overload someone with information, and
Yeah,
then none of
that's
it
the biggest
sticks.
mistake I've made. That's the biggest mistake
Oh,
I've made,
for
probably.
sure, and especially
Yeah,
like working with like people that are like newer to cubing. I might as well like be speaking Chinese to them. Like they really don't understand what's happening, and that sucks, right? Because I think another topic I would actually really like to discuss is like it's really easy to scam people and like steal their time, basically. Like time theft of like, you're doing a session for like an hour, and you're actually doing stuff as a coach, right? You're actually explaining things, but they're not getting it, right? So you only focus on less things, or you take time to explain things better, and then what do you know? It's the hour has passed, and you said a lot of things that are like true to them, but
yeah,
is
and
any is
possibly useful
is
for
any
sure.
of it gonna work, right? Like, or are you
Yeah,
gonna have to like repeat things in the next session, and then there's like the
hmm
morality of like, this person is paying me to get better. Is it even happening?
yeah. The way I avoid that is I just like, if anyone is has been following me for a bit and consumes like, let's say, one third of my content, they would know that I really emphasize on get a plan of practice first, get my analysis first, because I don't know you. I need to know what your solves look like. Then I can actually give better advice. Now, if you know like, oh, my FTL is good, my last layer is good, my cross just really sucks, and I just want to practice it with you on a call, then we can do that. Then we can just do a call together. But if you don't really know what you're bad at, like, you just need context
Yeah,
first.
you
So
need you
that's
need a lot of
yeah,
information up front. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Every time someone just orders a video call, I'm like, hey, are you sure you don't just want to get the plan of practice, get the analysis? Just because I just like you're saying, like, I just get uncomfortable during the call, because I just like, what happens during the call typically is I just start doing a very bad analysis while the person is still there. So it's
yeah.
just,
Right.
yeah, it's just the first step that I would want to do. Yeah, and again, this would be different if I were to actually get someone who doesn't know how to cube and just get him started on something, because I don't need to know any context. I already know the context, which is you don't know anything about cubing yet. I just need to teach you the beginning, so I know uh, exactly what I would need to get started on. So this is only an issue for Western coaches, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Like culturally, yeah, I feel like you're
Yeah.
gonna be a little bit more independent thinking as well, and then like there's that side of it too.
What do you mean?
like I think being coached is like more difficult for Westerners to like accept that perhaps you're doing something incorrectly, or I think most of the time it's not even like incorrect, right? It's just like it could be better. And at
Yeah.
least for like Americans, in my experience, being an American, right? Like there's that thing of like if something is working, then there's no need to improve it. Um, but it's really hard to assess if like something is going to give you enough of a gain that it's worth like overhauling your style or like changing it. So that kind of goes hand in hand with like the discussion we have with like D2, where it's like doing D2 the right way is probably like not that much faster, honestly. Like if you're really good at doing ring middle and you can do AUF with like your thumb or something, I don't know how you would do it. I think I did it with my thumb when I was doing ring middle. Like, why would you like go through the trouble of like switching this thing? But I think that
But it is also just slower.
it like making this justification for something like this makes it really easy to then justify other like bad habits that are actually like more time wasting or time costing.
Yeah. I think you just have to see it in the window of how long is your cubing career going to be. Like people have this discussion, should Yiheng learn ZB? And people are like, yes, because ZB is the better method. And then I just think to myself, like, oh, you're such an idiot. Like Yiheng is so good at CFOP. Like he can predict OLL so well, and then he still has good prediction for PLL. And like, there's gonna come a time where, like, just the next generation, like people are already talking about Yishen. People are like, a next generation is just gonna be better than Yiheng. Now that's gonna take some time because Yiheng is really really good, but yeah, Yiheng should not learn ZB. It's like he's already so good at like people did some analysis. Their last layer speed is like the same, Yiheng and Shuangyi. Now, obviously, you should be drawing the analogy with LSLO instead of just last layer. But yeah, this discussion about should Yiheng learn ZB, people don't understand that, especially with ZBLS. Like I'm someone that switched from doing CFOP to ZB. Like I was already doing quite a bit of hybrid, pretty much similar to you. Um, I was doing quite a lot of zbll, but my main method was CFOP. That was my default, and I still have lots of bad habits, especially on ZBLS, because I did underestimate how difficult how much different the intuition is for just solving your last pair in the fastest way possible, as opposed to, okay, I have to force a front slot, and then I actually have to do an AUG, and then I actually have to have look ahead from my third pair into not only which F2L pair it's going to be, but also where all the edges are. So it's
right.
Like Yiheng is going to have such a big hurdle to climb by learning ZBLS, especially ZBLL. I wouldn't be too worried about because I think his recognition would be pretty good, and then his AUGs would be decent as well. It would just take a long time, but
I think it would
especially
genuinely take him like years.
Yeah, I'd say 2, 3, 4 years
to see any like
yes
any
to see any improvement, like
yeah,
just to get back. Yeah,
but this is the
it's
thing that if like Luke Garrett switches ZB or like Max Spark switches ZB, like it's all like there are some people where just default is just going to be better always.
Yeah,
practically speaking.
Right? Yeah, but I would
Dylan
also
Miller
argue.
Also.
I would also argue that, like, I've never seen OLL prediction as good as Yiheng. I've never seen PLL prediction as good as Yiheng. I happen to be very talented at ZB or at PLL prediction. OLL prediction, not at all.
Throughout the years that I've been keeping, there have been people that are like really good at, OLL prediction and PLL prediction, but never the same person, right? Like, I feel like you're always like really good at like one thing, and then one dominates the other.
Yeah.
Like I remember like months when he was at the top, like his OLL prediction was insane.
It also
And then,
makes sense.
and then there would
If
always
you
be
predict
there would be
OLL,
like a massive pause for PLL like every solve.
yeah, because if you predict OLL very fast, you cannot recognize the one loop less layer case you have
Yeah.
to predict PLL,
And
and then
then there's always
if
been
you're
people that are like really good at knowing which PLO they're gonna get. And I have like
yeah
never. I personally was more like being better at predicting OLL. Like,
yeah that's funny because I think maybe because my OLL prediction was bad, maybe that's what made my PLO prediction good because I actually had time to look at the case.
I don't know. I was just
But
always like really good at like the last pair straight into OLL. Like never like not even a pause. Just like my hands moving before I could think. And like
yeah
I remember like my first like sub 8 averages was when that was like really obvious to me because other people would like point it out.
yeah. Just real quick, I think for CFOP, I think it would be meta to practice doing reverse to look OLL. So do the corners first, then the edges.
Really?
Yeah, because everybody can, from their last slot, so let's say you're doing your fourth pair, everybody can look ahead. Well, everybody. Every world-class cuber can look ahead and predict which of the three EO cases they're going to get. They're either going to get a line, they're going to get an L, they're going to get a dot, or they're going to get a skip. It's very hard to predict the corners. You need corner prediction practice.
So you're saying if people start doing two look with corners, then later
Yeah.
on when they switch to when they're doing like ZBLS, then they're going to be like really good at predicting ZBLL.
No, I'm talking in the context of CFOP. So I think you should, if I were to teach a new student CFOP, I would teach them to solve the corners first. I think it would be worse, but I think in the long run, it would make them so good at predicting the corners that
That
it would
then
just make their
they're
OLL
going to make
prediction
their
very,
OLL
very
prediction
fast.
really good because the edges are
Yeah.
like more automatic. So then you
Yeah.
just combine the two and then
Yeah, exactly.
for PLO prediction, I think there's more to be said about like deliberately practicing roll. Like it should just be a thing that's even taught. Like there should be sheets for roll. Like I think like it's been around for like over 10 years, but just like actually point this out and be like treat this like an ALG set. Like you learn roll for all your OLLs.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be so good for
But you see what the problem is? Not everybody uses the same ALG. So.
yeah, but like it's very rare that someone uses an OLL that's like unique to them, right? Like I'm sure it would take time, but it wouldn't take that long to make a roll sheet with like 3 of like the most popular OLLs for that particular case, and then make it like a public sheet where people could just comment like, oh, I use actually this ALG for like this random dot case.
Yeah. But then, so
like,
roll
I don't
is
even know
the
roll
corner.
for like some of my OLLs. Yeah, it's the corner one. Joel
Yeah,
is the
roll
edge
is
one.
yeah. So roll is a lot more crucial. And then it's also a lot more easy. Like
It's easy.
roll
It's
can
so
be
easy
done
to
from any
practice, right?
angle.
Like you just set up your PLO,
Yeah.
do the inverse of your OLL, do your OLL U prime, do the OLL again U prime. Like then you have all 4 angles, and then you go. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's not hard to learn, but I guess the JOLL, so the edge prediction, is a lot tougher because the edges are not always in sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
I think a roll light is probably the move there, or maybe just try to do full JOLL, but then do JOLL light, so which means only looking at the misoriented edges because they're easy to spot because the color is on top. Using only JOLL light, I think, would be the strat with the goal of actually doing full JOLL, but that's not always possible. Like with the double fat soon, for example, or the lefty case, I guess, the two top ones are adjacent for the PLL skip case, which means this doesn't tell you anything. So you'd have to look at this side one and then this one on top to actually, because these two are opposite, which is a lot harder to spot. So
I think if you're already at this point where like you're considering full Joel, your PLL is probably like your PLL prediction. I mean, is probably like already so good.
yeah,
Right.
but also like since I've now learned two-sided zbll recognition, like recognizing a one-loop glass layer is just
The same.
zbll, but also with a few flipped edges, which
Yeah.
low-key makes it easier because those edges are easier to spot. So like strictly with BH cases and CP recognition, you wouldn't even need JOLL. You would just recognize the BH case with flips plus the CP, and then you would know exactly the one loop glass layer case, which means you can predict your PLO as well. So that is probably better than JOLL because you can always recognize your BH case, and JOLL, like we just discussed with his OLL, is not always in sight.
Right.
What do you think about Dot OLL? Should we avoid Dot OLLs as CFOP solve?
We should avoid Dot OLLs, but we should also be able to like crush any case that comes across it our way, right? Like there are some fantastic algs for all the dot cases.
So do you think, because Maddie avoids all dots, which also causes him to be very bad at dots, well, he avoids them also, I guess that's just his method. But then should someone like Yiheng, he does a bit of dot avoidance, not too much.
Yeah, but he gets dots like pretty frequently, like once every 50 solves or something.
But he is worse at dots, I would assume. It doesn't really look like it, but should someone practice dots to make up for
I think dots should be a part of practice. Like in the same way as like a blind solver that does full floating, their sixth corner buffer algs are probably so much slower, like noticeably slower than their UFR algs. But if they do have to solve that sixth buffer, then they should be able to do it, right? So, you don't even have to practice it that much, right? For it to be good enough in like the situation where you need it, but you should be able to do it, right? Like you shouldn't be like such a good cuber up until when you get a dot case, and then like you just guaranteed a bad solve. I think that's my line of thinking for most ways. Like there shouldn't be any single particular thing that could happen that would just kill your solve. That is like, actual solving related, right? Like obviously if you get a cube drop, then that is also going to kill your solve regardless of how good you are. But for actual solving the cube, like it shouldn't be that if you get like if you get this OLL, then your solve is just cooked no matter what. Like you should.
I had that OLL today, but accidentally. I
had it on one of my virtual solves, and I did like sexy sledge into that OLL.
Yeah, same.
I think there's like a Jay Mcneill video where he says like that's actually a viable alg.
Yeah, and if you're a CFOP solver, you shouldn't do that at all.
I think
I feel like
S1 is good.
I think if you're a CFOP solver, I think you should stick to your method. You should do your fourth pair as fast as possible, and then you should do no OLL CP and just do your OLL and then take whatever PLO you get. I think,
and that is what really good CFOP solvers do. Like Max gets dot OLLs, Yiheng gets dot OLLs. Luke Reiser, Dylan Miller, like it happens, and they're good at it. They still get fives.
Not all of them are good at it. Like who are some of them more dot avoiders?
I think Luke Reiser gets a fair few dot OLLs, and it doesn't really significantly lower his time or increase his time.
I haven't seen him do too many dots in my life.
Max Park
Who
for
else?
sure. Ruheng and Yiheng for sure.
Yeah, Max is good at his dots.
Yeah.
Um,
The algs don't even have to be that perfect, right? It should just be as automatic as any other OLL is the
yeah.
thing, yeah. Dots and like rotating between pairs, I feel like are two things that really early on in like someone's cubing are just like demonized. But I think there's way more nuance around doing them. Like they're not that bad like they're made to.
Dots are quite good in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like they're worse.
Like people are like scared to rotate when it's like objectively fine to do so. Like it's much harder. It's much harder to have the conversation of like, it's actually totally fine to rotate, as opposed to just making like a hard rule like, never rotate if you have a pair that you can solve without rotating, right?
Yeah. The only real bad dots I think is the all corners one, and then probably
the two diagonal corners.
No, the all corners oriented, no edges.
No, I know, but like I feel like that one's also bad. Like
I think
case.
That one with S moves is good these days.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this one is not amazing.
What do you do? RU to R2 sledge?
I mean, I don't do it anymore. But I like this alg. So you take the pair out and do like furrough from the side, and then you sled. I really like that.
So it's like the alg with the corners on the right, and you do R, U2, R prime sledge.
Yeah, that's the standard, yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah. I know this Jayden Mcneill alg.
There's also one with B moves.
You're going to love this one.
Okay.
So it starts, it's like 5 gen. It's R, like this ZBLS alg.
Oh, wow.
And then another ZBLS alg.
I know one that has like... B moves, but it's like the good B moves, like B, U, B prime. So it's like...
I know that one, yeah. I think I've seen it before. Yeah.
Sledge. Yeah.
I
tried to.
I think I used to use that for OLLs.
There was like ways to make F2L pairs. Yeah, like this pair, you can obviously just do it like this.
Yeah.
But I found in like 2020 that you could also have it like this and do...
I do that for ZBLS, but I do it with a wide move.
Okay.
Wide F move.
I remember showing this to like Timon in like 2020, and he was like, "Nah." But I think B moves are like low key fine if it's quickly followed by
the inverse.
The inverse, like B prime B and B prime are very fast. It's just rare to find that combination of moves being applicable. All right.
Yeah.
I have a coaching session, so I have to leave. But
yep.
I think this is all good. Like we can work with this.
Yeah, good talk.
And then also
we can do this again.
As of Thursday, I'm just gonna be living at Anthony's place in Hoofddorp until I leave the country. So we could record this in person potentially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Good talk, man. We'll
good luck with your
see what the future brings. Thank you. And he's one of these like he's averaging like 30 seconds right now, so
all right, cool.
Not too much of what we talked about will be
make him sub 30 today.
Yeah. All right, see you.
All right, see you.